This is a quick video on Dying Light, which I believe is one of the more fun and unique zombie hunting games. It's a mixture of, like I said, Assassin's Creed, Walking Dead, and Resident Evil. I don't think I need to explain why. Do you see this caption right here? Do you see it? Good, because it's the final warning. Kyle Crane winds up being a rogue global relief effort agent who decides to say fuck you to his employers and side with the Harran survivors. As you can see by the caption here, heroic traits, you can see why. Or excuse me, not you can see why, you can see some reason why I think he's a total hero. Keep in mind, Crane is the character who, if he even suspects you're in a little bit of danger, he will literally drop every single thing he's doing. Doesn't matter how far he is, he will run, jump, hide, and fight to get to you, as I think I explained in this list. There was one death in this game that I personally thought was extremely avoidable and horribly well written. When I first saw it, I was emotional, but now I'm like, what the hell? What the hell were these people thinking? As I'm sure you saw by this list, you saw Crane is somebody who would not let anybody die. If he even finds you bleeding out a little bit, he'll give you his medicine or whatever. Read the rest of these. The first part is Jade Aldemir. Her end, I thought was, now that I think about it, it was a little strange because like it says here, she's a badass champion kickboxer. She's the second best fighter in the game, so the fact that Rise was able to kidnap her so easily, I don't know how I feel about that. But Rise was incredibly evil, and he was also extremely bloodthirsty. So that little maze of enemies that he had Crane go through, I guess I could get over it, but this following death scene, in 5 minutes, I came up with 15 different ways that he could have saved her brother. Even fan fictions wrote this scene better than the official game writers. So in Dying Light, there are several species of zombies. There are bolters, virals, volatiles, demolishers, toads, which basically vomit poison gas. I don't know, ew. My biggest issue are the virals, which technically are a hybrid of humans and zombies, because virals are freshly turned zombies that still have their humanity. So are they dead, or do they just like to eat flesh? I don't know. That was the part that really kind of confuses me now that I think about it. Excuse me, now that I have been thinking about it. So now let's get into my favorite part, the reason why I think Siblings, the quest where Rahim dies, stupidly, might I add, was a horrible ending. Kyle had more than enough time to just dump the bomb into the sewer, get to a safe house for medicine, and then back to the tower to see Dr. Zare and I think her name was Lena. You mean to tell me he couldn't get Rahim to the doctor in time? When he's done shit that was 1,000 times more complicated? Really? And since you're that desperate, if you blow up one floor, you'll probably damage a lot of the volatiles anyway. So Kyle could have just bombed the first floor of the nest if Rahim was that desperate, and then rushed back to him in that train car. And then proceeding to pick him up, and then get him medical help like in Reason 1. Or the obvious thing to do would be say, Rahim, you're bleeding, fuck the bomb, I'm gonna leave it in the train car and I'm gonna get you some help. Because Kyle Crane has more than enough skill and power to do so. Even Crane himself survived the entire game and DLC with a bite. And Rahim was even talking about somebody whose name is, I think, Said. Sorry if I butchered that name pronunciation. But called the bomb expert to help defuse the bomb, and then get Rahim home to the tower afterwards. And if you are still pressed, then get him to safety after defusing the bomb and then start it up again and then repeat the process. Not difficult at all. Do what the rest of the tower did for Kyle Crane. Give him some Antizin. That's the whole point of it. Camouflage both Crane and Raheem and get them back to the tower. Call for some runners or even a really pissed off older sister, Jade, to help him back to the tower or to a safe house, as long as Raheem gets to safety. And then Kyle could go blow up the volatile nest after everybody's out of danger. Here's a funny one. If Raheem is that stubborn, knock him out and then take him back home. Reluctantly called Jade for obvious reasons. She could get him out, no problem. Okay, maybe Jade couldn't get Raheem out with no problem, but she would be a really big-ass help. There are airdrops all over Haran, probably with some medicine. Or if not, you can steal some medicine from a drop or from Marais himself to slow down the infection until Raheem can get to the doctor. Bury the defused bomb outside the sewer entrance, save Raheem, and then blow the nest up later. Call Jade and the bomb expert. After Crane follows the instructions to disable the bomb, he and Jade can get Raheem back to the tower. This is a stretch, but Raheem would break down and go back home after he realizes the error of his choice and it was extremely against his character. Raheem would call for help himself after Crane goes to bomb the volatile nest. Here are 2 or 3 new reasons I just thought of. The first thing was, why did Kyle survive literally the entire game and the downloadable content called The Following after he was bitten by a zombie, not 5 minutes after being airdropped into Haran? He lasts the entire game. Jade doesn't last as long, which he lasts a good couple of hours, but Raheem dies in 5 minutes from a zombie bite? Are you kidding me? I just don't understand how Kyle lasts the full base game of Dying Light, the content called The Following, depending on the choice that you make, of course. So he lasts 1 full game, 1 full downloadable content package. Jade will last, what, a good 3 to 5 hours? Which, still, I just don't understand why Raheem couldn't last at least a couple hours. Why did he die or turn into a zombie after 5 minutes? Why did it only take 5 minutes? Crane was not gone that long. You mean to tell me everything Kyle Crane did in the game, not just for Jade, not just for Raheem, not just for Brecken or the doctors, but everything he does in the game, you mean to tell me he couldn't save Raheem from a zombie bite? As resourceful, as strong, and as fast and as deadly as Kyle Crane is, he couldn't save one of the 2 tower residents that meant the most to him? Now that I think about it, I would have used the walkie-talkie, or whatever it was, yeah, walkie-talkie, to radio the bomb expert, defuse it, or somehow call Jade and the bomb expert, one of those 2 at least, now that I'm making this video. There's no reason that this guy should have died that way. That was horrible writing. So basically, my list, the 16 reasons I just showed you, and the heroic traits of Kyle Crane, which I think that just gives you a further 10 reasons why Jade's brother should have lived. I don't understand why they killed him off that way. It was extremely lame. And this video features, I think, 26 ways that he could have gotten out alive. The worst thing was, how did Raheem die? But Kyle lasted... I just don't understand how Kyle lasts 1 game, 1 DLC package, and Jade would last however long it took him to get to Jade. I don't understand. Why did it only take 5 minutes and the bombing of a volatile building to kill him off? I don't get it. At worst, they could have amputated his leg below the knee. Done. They did that in Telltale's Walking Dead. final reason why, which I think it goes up to, what, 28 reasons now? We know Raheem lied, convinced Omar to go with him to blow up the volatile nest, and as a result, both of them did not survive. I'm sorry, but Green was stupid for that. If you found out he lied about not going after the nest, and you find him in a train car bleeding, surrounded by a bunch of zombies and a started bomb, what did you think was going to happen? He even said he didn't think he was going to make it. That's a red flag right there that he was bitten. I don't know how Crane didn't figure it out or why he believed Raheem so easily. So both of them were wrong in this situation. As smart as Crane is, as much as Raheem meant to him, Kyle should have been able to figure out something, at least to get Raheem to a medical professional. I mean, come on. There's at least 26 reasons, or 28, I think, in this whole video I just told you.